Hello, I'm Laura Morrissey and I wrote Loving Eric, and it was published last year, and it was a story about, a personal story about when we adopted three children. The last one, Eric, who had severe attachment disorder, and it's the story of trying to come to terms with a lot of his problems and trying to get the educational people to deal with him correctly and try to see where he could fit in, and not accepting that his life would be a waste just because he had issues from when he was growing up. In order to get the help that he needed, we ended up getting many labels. So he's got the label of autism, ADHD, attachment disorder, pragmatic language impairment, dyspraxia, and many other things. And for somebody who personally didn't want any labels, he's got more than most. Unfortunately, they can define a child, and I'm fighting for him not to define himself by the labels that he has, and to reach higher and to achieve more. And this is a very complex thing for him to get in his head and for other people to accept on his behalf. But I won't give up. So I wrote this book as things were particularly difficult that we were going through. I would write down almost like a journal to my sister about how horrendous the morning had been, from the time Eric woke up until the time he went to school. Often having to be physically held to get there safely. It was a very difficult, taxing number of years, and all the arguments that we ended up having with schools and social workers and mental health workers that should have helped us on this very difficult journey just became more and more obstacles. So I would just write, email it to my sister who would read it, and she said, "You need to publish it." And I said, "Well, why would anybody want to read this? It's not very pleasant reading." As time went on, we managed to get a few more answers and got some therapy for my son, and things began to calm down. I then thought it was worth publishing it and give some people some hope that if they were going through similar situations, that there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, is worth carrying on fighting, and that there are some solutions out there that can help people and can help people like Eric, which when I started looking into attachment disorder, there was no therapy that could actually be named that could help with attachment disorders. But now I found therapies that do work. They don't cure everything, but they certainly make things easier. Most of these conditions are exacerbated by anxiety, and if we can calm the anxiety down for most people, then they begin to be able to start being able to process better and be able to engage better socially. So this is my story of life with my son, and the family, and how we're all impacted by it. And hopefully you'll read it and pass it on to other people and let people know exactly what it's like. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope it's not too disjointed. Thanks, bye.